The city that never sleeps held its breath today. The streets, usually filled with the cacophony of honking taxis and chattering pedestrians, seemed to pause in anticipation. New Yorkers, known for their resilience and hustle, found themselves caught in a moment of collective suspense. As former President Donald J. Trump faced a New York judge, the air was thick with the weight of history, as the man who once held the highest office in the land now stood before the bench, awaiting his fate. This wasn't about impeachment or election interference. This was a different kind of trial, one that delved into the very core of legal and ethical accountability. The courtroom was a theater of justice, where every word and gesture carried immense significance. This was about justice, accountability, and the rule of law. The gavel, the flag, the scales of justice, all symbols of a system designed to uphold fairness and integrity. Today, they were more than just symbols. They were the pillars upon which the day's proceedings rested. After months of anticipation, the case of the people of the state of New York versus Donald J. Trump reached its dramatic conclusion. The courthouse, a beacon of justice, had become the focal point of national attention. People from all walks of life gathered, their eyes fixed on the unfolding drama. The courtroom crackled with tension. Every creak of the wooden benches, every rustle of paper seemed amplified in the charged atmosphere. The faces of those present reflected a spectrum of emotions: anticipation, anxiety, hope, and fear. Reporters and spectators packed the benches, eager to witness this unprecedented legal showdown. Cameras clicked, pens scribbled, and whispers filled the air as the world watched through the lenses and words of the media. At the center of it all stood Trump, a figure who has always commanded attention, now more than ever. His presence was a magnet, drawing the eyes and thoughts of everyone in the room. The gravity of the moment was not lost on him, nor on those who observed him closely. Now facing the possibility of restrictions on his freedom, the expressions on his face ranged from defiance to contemplation, a man grappling with the reality of his situation. The judge's words would soon determine the next chapter in this extraordinary saga. From the moment he entered the courtroom, Trump's demeanor was defiant. Gone was the bluster and bravado often seen at his rallies. In their place was a steely resolve, a man determined to project an image of strength in the face of adversity. When asked to enter a plea, his response was immediate and forceful: "Not guilty." The words echoed through the silent courtroom, a stark reminder of the high stakes involved. This wasn't just about legal technicalities. It was about Trump's legacy, his reputation, and his future. The prosecution, led by the assistant district attorney, laid out their case methodically. They began by outlining the charges, ensuring that the jury understood the gravity of the situation. Each point was meticulously detailed, leaving no room for ambiguity. The assistant district attorney's voice was steady, confident, and unwavering, a stark contrast to the tension that filled the courtroom. They weren't swayed by Trump's celebrity or his previous position of power. The jury, a diverse group of individuals from various walks of life, listened intently. They were chosen for their impartiality, their ability to look beyond the headlines and focus on the facts presented before them. The judge, too, maintained a stern demeanor, ensuring that the proceedings remained fair and just. Their focus was on the evidence, the facts, and the law. The prosecution presented a series of documents, each one more damning than the last. There were emails, financial records, and other pieces of evidence that painted a clear picture of the defendant's actions. The attorney showed these documents to the jury, explaining their significance in a calm and collected manner. They painted a picture of a man who acted recklessly, a man who disregarded the rules that apply to everyone else. The defendant, visibly worried, sat in silence as the prosecution laid out their case. The judge addressed the defendant directly, reminding him of the seriousness of the charges against him. The courtroom was silent, the weight of the moment palpable. They argued that Trump's actions weren't just mistakes, they were part of a pattern of behavior that demanded accountability. The prosecutor's voice grew more passionate as they described the repeated nature of the defendant's actions. This wasn't a one-time lapse in judgment, they argued, but a consistent disregard for the law. The courtroom buzzed with tension as the prosecutor made their case. The prosecution played audio recordings, presented documents, and called witnesses, all in an effort to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. Each witness brought a new piece of the puzzle, their testimonies adding weight to the prosecution's argument. The audio recordings were played, filling the courtroom with the defendant's own words. The documents were shown to the jury, each one a testament to the thoroughness of the prosecution's case. The effort to prove their case was relentless, leaving no stone unturned. Trump's legal team, known for their aggressive tactics, didn't hold back. They argued that the entire case was politically motivated, a witch hunt designed to tarnish Trump's name and derail his political ambitions. They accused the prosecution of being biased, of cherry-picking evidence, and of ignoring crucial facts. The courtroom became a battleground of words, with both sides fiercely defending their positions. The judge, tasked with maintaining order and ensuring a fair trial, played a pivotal role in this high-stakes legal drama. After days of testimony, arguments, and legal maneuvering, the moment of truth arrived. The judge, in a firm and measured tone, delivered his verdict. Trump was granted an unconditional discharge. The courtroom erupted in gasps and murmurs. But before Trump's supporters could celebrate, the judge continued. He admonished Trump's behavior, calling it irresponsible and beneath the dignity of his former office. He emphasized that no one, not even a former president, is above the law. Section 6, Echoes of a Witch Hunt, Trump's Fury Unleashed. Outside the courthouse, a defiant Trump addressed the media. He slammed the case as a politically motivated sham, a continuation of the witch hunt that had plagued his presidency. He accused his opponents of trying to silence him and prevent him from running for office again. His words, laced with anger and resentment, resonated with his supporters, who had gathered outside the courthouse, waving signs and chanting his name. Section 7, A City Divided, Reactions to the Verdict. The verdict sent shockwaves through New York City and beyond. Trump's supporters hailed it as a victory, proof that he was being targeted unfairly. His critics expressed outrage, arguing that the justice system had failed to hold him accountable. The case became a lightning rod for debate, further polarizing an already divided nation. News channels provided wall-to-wall coverage, dissecting every aspect of the trial and its implications. Section 8. Unprecedented Protections, the Law, and a Former President. The case highlighted the unique legal protections afforded to former presidents. It raised questions about the balance of power, the rule of law, and the very foundations of American democracy. Legal experts weighed in, offering their interpretations of the verdict and its potential long-term consequences. The debate extended beyond the courtroom, sparking conversations in classrooms, coffee shops, and living rooms across the country. Section 9. Looking ahead, the road to 2028. As the dust settles, one thing is clear. Donald J. Trump remains a force to be reckoned with. His influence on the political landscape is undeniable, and his presence continues to shape the discourse within the Republican Party. Despite the controversies and legal challenges that have surrounded him, Trump has managed to maintain a loyal base of supporters who are eager to see him return to the forefront of American politics. He emerged from the courtroom emboldened, ready to reclaim his position as a kingmaker in the Republican Party. His legal battles, rather than diminishing his stature, have only served to galvanize his supporters and solidify his role as a central figure in the party. With each court appearance, Trump has demonstrated a resilience and determination that resonates with his base. The 2028 election looms large, and Trump, never one to shy away from the spotlight, is already positioning himself for another potential run. His rallies draw massive crowds, and his speeches are filled with the same fiery rhetoric that has become his trademark. As he travels across the country, Trump is laying the groundwork for what could be one of the most contentious and closely watched elections in recent history. The coming months and years promise to be a time of political maneuvering, legal battles, and high-stakes drama, with Donald Trump at the center of it all. His ability to command media attention and rally his supporters ensures that he will remain a dominant force in American politics. As the nation looks ahead to 2028, the question on everyone's mind is whether Trump will once again seek the highest office in the land, and if so, what impact his candidacy will have on the future of the Republican Party and the country as a whole.